Hi, I'm Roxy Rose, and I'm back making another video clip. I don't know, maybe you've seen some of my other videos. I have a series of them. They're all basically about transitioning late in life, although there's a lot of issues that even younger transitioners have to go through. I hope they've been helpful and a little bit entertaining. But today I want to talk to you about transitioning late, as in my case. I'm 49. I transitioned 2 years ago. I am pre-op, but I've been on a full dose of hormones for 2 years. As for me, I'm in the process of getting divorced right now, but January would have been 30 years for me. So I was involved in a marriage for quite a long time. I had 3 beautiful children. They're all grown and out of the house now. But anyways, what I want to talk to you about today is a social anxiety disorder. Now, a lot of us transgender folk have, severe to mild cases of social anxiety disorder. As I did, and it's kind of funny. I'm very social now, so my social anxiety disorder is not in the least debilitating for me now that I've transitioned, and it was completely wiped away the first day I transitioned. Just about. It's really, really amazing. What I want to talk to you about, though, is a lot of psychologists and counselors, they don't realize that all the time that's associated, and it may not be. There may be multiple problems that they're trying to contend with, or you're trying to as a patient, and they may or may not be associated. And even if they are associated, sometimes it takes a little work to come to terms with all those things. But I want to talk to you about my case, and certainly this is not an instructional video of any sort, but by talking to you about my situation and the things I've gone through, hopefully you could see, certain things, or pick out certain things that may be helpful to you too, or at least comforting to you. Like I said, I was married for almost 30 years. And I'm going to give you an example of how bad my social anxiety disorder was. If my spouse and I did perchance go to a Starbucks, here's how the ordering would go on. We would both walk into a Starbucks, and I would be probably whispering in my spouse's ear that I need to use the restroom, and I only go at Starbucks because it was a single stall. And this is all pre-transition, don't forget. So I would whisper in my spouse's ear that I do have to use the restroom, ask him if they have one, where it is, or if I need a key. So she would be prepared to talk for me there. And then we would go up to the counter and get ready to place our order. And then my spouse would turn to me and say, Roxy, well, my name wasn't Roxy at the time. She'd say, what do you want? And I would tell directly to my spouse, even though there was a cashier or somebody there that was going to take our order, not less than a foot away. Then I would tell my spouse, well, I'll have an iced tea. And then my spouse would turn and talk to the lady, and she would say, well, she's going to have an iced tea. And then the lady would look at me and say, well, what size do you want? And then I wouldn't answer her, but then my spouse would turn to me and say, what size do you want, Roxy? And then I would tell my wife what size I wanted. And it would just go round and round that way because I couldn't talk to people. It was very severe, very debilitating. So it was quite difficult to deal with. Now, how does one with social anxiety disorder get from there to here? Just a jabbermouth, and I just don't do this on video. I go out into town, and I go shopping, and I go out with people, and this is who I am. I love to talk, and I love to be social. So how does that happen? Well, I'm not really sure, except that I just feel good about myself. And before transition, I didn't like myself and didn't think anybody would. But I'm going to give you another kind of a funny scenario. I transitioned, but I was still trying to, there were certain people in my life that were having a little difficult time with it, and particularly one of my daughters was having trouble with it. And so I would once in a while have to present male, even after I was used to going out as female. And that was very rare, just very rare. And I was just doing it for her, and it was kind of difficult. But I remember this one situation where I was out presenting female, as I'm supposed to, because that's who I am. And I was just about ready to head home for the day. I was alone. And I decided, well, I'm a little bit hungry, so I went to my favorite restaurant, which is Chipotle. They're a good little restaurant anyways. But I went there, and I usually just get food to go and leave, or something like that. But I thought, gosh, I'm a little tired. I'd really like to get off my feet, and I'm having a good day. So I ordered something, and I sat down in a booth by myself and ate it all by myself. Which, before transition, no way in the world. In fact, I wouldn't even stop and got food, because that meant I'd have to talk to somebody to place the order, where I would just avoid that completely, so I wouldn't have even stopped. But this time I stopped, and not only did I stop and order the food myself, because I was alone, I sat there myself and I enjoyed my lunch. Now, here's the funny thing. The very next day, I had to run an errand. I had to go and get in contact with my daughter, who, as I said, was having trouble with my transition. So I had to dress male. Ugh, God. So I put my hair back in a ponytail, dressed male, and I went out and did my business for the day. And coincidentally, I was on my way home, same place, around the same time, and I thought, well, I'm hungry. I think I'll just do what I did yesterday. I'll go get myself a great little burrito at Chipotle, and I'll go sit down and have lunch. I wasn't even thinking about my social anxiety disorder. And I went into Chipotle, and there was a line, like there always is. It's a popular restaurant. And as I got in line, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to have to order from somebody. And I thought, wow, it went over so well yesterday. And then today I'm all of a sudden getting really nervous and uptight, and I'm standing in line, and I'm thinking, oh, I got to get a booth. I'm going to sit alone in a booth. Oh, my God. And I left the restaurant. I just had to leave. I didn't get anything to eat. I just left. I was standing in line, and I got so uptight, I had to leave. The day before I was there, I was dressed female, as I feel good about, and I had no problem. Lunch was enjoyable. So it's really, that was after I left that restaurant, and I didn't realize what everything that went together in that little scenario from the day before to that day. And as I left the restaurant, I thought, oh my God, that was my problem all along. I just wasn't comfortable with who I was before. So now it's really obvious to me. I mean, it's not just that scenario. Now, like I said, you can't shut me up. I'm sociable. I smile, and that's another thing. My spouse used to be so offended at me. Every family photo, photos when we were on cruise ships, photos all over the place. She always criticized me. She said, Roxy, of course my name wasn't Roxy then. She'd say, God, can't you just smile a little? You look like you're feeling so lousy. And the thing is now, I always smile. In fact, I get these wrinkles that I can't seem to get rid of because I'm just always smiling. You just can't wipe this grin off my face sometimes. Even when I'm just strolling the mall by myself, and I could be by myself with nobody to talk to, and I just think of something, and I'm just smiling. I catch myself smiling, and sometimes people look at me, and they'll smile back, thinking I smiled at them, and I'm just happy to be here. Anyways, social anxiety disorder. What a difficult situation to work through. But the thing is for me, and everybody's different, it was directly related to my transgenderism. And the very day that I transitioned, my social anxiety disappeared. It was gone. So if you're sitting at home and you haven't transitioned yet, and you're one of those transgender persons that has to contend with social anxiety disorder, and you're worried about that first trip into the restroom, and you're worried about going out presenting as you are, the person that you are, if you're all worried about those things, there is a chance that you might not have social anxiety disorder the moment you transition. But I'm not going to talk you into anything that you feel uncomfortable about. Go at your own rate. And, and if your social anxiety disappears like mine did, then thank God, right? Okay, girls, I got to go. Have fun. Love yourself. Go at your own pace. This is Roxy Rose talking about transitioning late in life and the fact that her social anxiety disorder just plain and simply disappeared the day she transitioned. So this has been Roxy Rose. Email me, talk to me, tell me about your stories. I'd like to hear from some more girls that their social anxiety disorder disappeared when they transitioned. I'm sure there's a lot out there just the same as me. So email me through YouTube or any other website, or you could email me directly, myroxyrose@gmail.com. That's MYROXYROSE@gmail.com. I love talking, so send me a letter. Bye-bye.